Hello friends, good morning and welcome to the channel. Myself Raz, and in this video we are going to discuss what is an identity column in SQL Server. So basically as part of this video tutorial we will discuss what is an identity column and the syntax of an identity column and when we need to use an identity column. What are the scenarios where we need to consider that we need to use an identity column, right? So all these topics we are going to discuss as part of this video tutorial. Remember that identity column is a very important concept, and the importance of an identity column is to maintain the data integrity and ensure that each row of your table will contain an auto-generated and an unique value, right? Which is very much crucial when you are setting up primary key for one particular column, right? So what you want, your column should get automatically generated and it should contain some unique values. This is the scenario where you need an identity column, and this is where the identity column comes into picture, right? So let me just open the SQL Server where I will show you in detail. Before that, I will show you in a notepad the syntax and all. You will get a little clarity on that, right? Let me go there. I will just open here a notepad first. You can able to see here. This is the syntax of an identity column, right? So what you need to do along with the column name, you need to specify identity, then seed and the increment value, right? So what is seed and what is increment? Seed is the starting value and increment is how much you need the SQL server to increase the value, right? So say the record one, what I'm trying to tell is, say this is my record one. Suppose this is my ID column and this is the name. So ID column is, suppose I'm going to set the identity column to my ID column, right? So in that case, what it will do, it will automatically generated from 1 because what we are telling the SQL server, you start the value from 1. Okay, so record 1, the value will start from 1 and the record 2 will be 2 because what I'm trying to tell in the same way record 3 will be 3, right? So what I'm trying to tell to SQL server is that you start the value from 1 and then you increment by 1. So 1 plus 1 2, then plus 1 3, like that. Okay, now if I will tell here that you start from 3, the seed value is 3 and then this is 2, then what it will do, it will insert the record as 3, the first record, because we are telling that start from 3, then it will it will insert the next record as 5 and the third record as 7, like that it will insert, right? So basically this way it will work. Okay, now while creating a table, if you want to create a column with an identity, then you need to specify in this way. What I'm trying to tell here is create table, then the table name and then the column name and then the data type, and here only, suppose this is the column we want to make it identity and this is the ID column, say. So in that case, what you need to specify, you need to specify column name, then the data type, and then identity seed increment value, seed value and increment value, and then the not null, right? And the other columns will be as usual, right? Now, let me go to the SQL Server to show you in detail. So you can able to see here, I have already created a table called employee, okay, which is what I'm trying to tell is here employee ID is the primary key, but this is not an identity column. I have not specified identity here. And then the employee name is the second column, right? So this employee table has two columns, employee ID and employee name. You can able to see here already. Okay, this is one column employee ID, which is the primary key column, and this is the employee name, which is the second column, right? I have. But this is not an identity column, as I told you. How you will come to know that this is an identity column or not? If you will right click on this column and click on the property, you can able to see identity is false here. Okay. So that means it is not an identity column. Okay. So in this case, what will happen is, okay, so what I'll do, I have one more, just to show you that I have one more table called customer. If I'll show you there, this customer table contains three columns. Okay, customer ID, customer name, and department. This is an identity column. Okay, I will just right click and click on the properties. You can able to see identity is true here, and the seed value is 1 and increment value is 1 here. So this is an identity column, just to show you the difference. Okay, so same way employee, as I told you that this is not an identity column. So what will happen in this case when we are not setting up an identity column while inserting the record? You have to explicitly specify values for all the columns. Say we have to specify here values for employee ID as well as employee name. But if we will create a column as identity column, so say suppose we have created the identity column or set the identity column this employee ID. In that case, no need to specify in the insert statement, no need to specify any value for that particular column. Okay, because that will get generated automatically. If you'll see here, in that case, insert statement will be like this. Okay, just employee name you need to specify and value you need to provide. But if the identity column we are not specifying, then in that case, explicitly you have to specify values for all the columns. Okay, this is the difference. Now, if I will say we will insert a record here in the employee table, let me just remove this. So what you need to do, we need to specify the values like this. So I will execute this. You can able to see here, if I will do a select statement here to retrieve the value, you can able to see that employee ID also one inserted, and this one also inserted value is 2. In that case, suppose I will again say this is 3 and this is I will say Ram. In that case, what it will do, it will just insert a record with the value 3 and RAM, right? If I'll go here, you can able to see. So if you'll see here, there is a clear gap between 1 and 3, which doesn't look good. Say you have an employee that already left your organization and you are now going to delete that, and again there will be a gap. Suppose the employee with employee ID 2 left your organization, and later on after he left you deleted that record. Now it will be like 1 and 3, 2 is not there. So now 1 and 3, if you'll see, there is a gap between these two, right? Which doesn't look good. So this type of scenario will not come when you will use this identity column, right? So yeah, in that case, what it will do is it will automatically generate this particular identity column value, right? Based on the seed and increment value that I have shown you already, right? So you just provide the value for this employee name and it will automatically generate this ID column without any gap. Okay. The identity column will help with that type of scenarios, right? See, if I will show you the customer table, you will get a better picture. Let me just, I will say customer. Okay, so there is no value in this table. What I'll do, I will just specify, I will just try to insert some values on this customer table, right? Now, what I'll do, I will just copy this value, customer name and department, rename. So what I'll do, I will say this is Raj. This is a string, so we need to put it the inverted comma. And department say I will say IT. So I will just try inserting 2 3 records just to give you a clear picture how this identity column will work here, right? So I will say this is, and this is I will say HR department, right? One more record also will insert to this FN department. Okay. Now these are the three insert statement. We will execute, just execute this. And now what I'll do, I will say select star from customer. You can able to see the customer ID is automatically generated. We are not passing the value for this customer ID anything, right? It is automatically generated because the seed value is 1 and increment value might be 1. So that's the reason it started with 1, 2, 3 records, right? And then we just specify these values, right? Because you won't able to externally specify. Just to show you what I'll do, this is, as I showed you already, that this customer ID is an identity column, right? So we are just passing the other values, right? Other column values, not the customer ID values, right? If I will now say one more scenario is, I'll just show you this so that you will get clear picture, right? Now what I'll do, I will just try to insert the customer ID value also. Okay. Now say I will put customer ID and then I will just specify some ID, random ID. I will say 3 and like this, or I will say 5 here. And here I will change the name to Binay and I will change the department into GST. Okay. Now, if I'll try to insert this, what will happen? It will throw error, right? If I will do this, you can able to see here what is it is telling here. I'll just copy it and I will show you the error message here. I'll just paste the error. Cannot insert explicit value for an identity column in table customer. Okay, when identity insert is set to off, like that, this is a different story, but what I'm trying to tell is it won't allow you to explicitly specify or insert a value for this particular identity column, right? Because customer ID is the identity column here, it is not allowing us to explicitly specify here. So this is the benefit of a identity column. Okay, so what you need to do, you can set a particular column to identity column which will automatically generate the value based on your seed and increment you have specified, right? And the other values just you need to supply. Okay, that's it. So it will be like this. No need to specify any value for this identity column, right? So this is how the identity column works. Okay. So hope you have a clear understanding now how this identity column works. You know, if we'll compare this employee table and customer table, we came to know on that. Okay. So this is where the identity column comes into picture. And in the next video, we are going to discuss how to create a table with an identity column. So this is what all about an identity column and the syntax of an identity column and what are the scenarios where we need an identity column, what is the importance of an identity column. Hope you understood a little bit on this and thanks a lot for watching this video. If you found this video little helpful for you, kindly subscribe to our channel so that you will get lots of videos on different topics on SQL Server. And till then, kindly subscribe to our channel and wait for the next video. Thanks a lot for watching this video. Have a nice day. Bye bye.